Hey guys, Maggie DeGrood back with another grilling video, and today we're going to be doing a traditional pork shoulder. We're going to be smoking it on a Green Mountain Grill for 8 to 10 hours, so nice low and slow, and we're going to be pulling the pork at the end and making a sandwich similar to this one. And it's gonna be great. It's gonna be super smoky. We're gonna be using a ton of flavor, and it's a very easy recipe. Great to be doing right now during these times where a lot of people are at home. We're gonna start it in the morning and then finish it by dinner time. So it'll be perfect. Check it out. Be smoking this for 8 to 10 hours. It's early in the morning, so we're going to get this started so that we can have this by dinner time. This is a great way to, kind of set and forget it. We're going to be doing it on the Green Mountain today, and we've got it at 250 degrees already. So I'm going to show you how we prep the pork, and then we're going to come back. Now that we have the pork prepped and ready to go, we've got the grill at 250. Today I'm using a Sweetwood blend pellet mix, and as you can see, it's in there. I've got a full hopper, and the Sweetwood is great because it has exactly what it says in the Sweetwood, so it's going to add more and more sweetness to it. In the mixture, we already have a base of this Noble maple turbinado smoked sugar, and we've got a base of Sexy Pig seasoning. This one's got a lot of your traditional barbecue seasonings and paprika, garlic, salt, onion, and other spices in there. But that's going to be our base today, and then we have some dark brown sugar. You could probably tell from the mixture I was making, but I just want to let you know that's what's in there. So we've got pork. Looks great. It's been sitting around for about a half hour, kind of marinating. Just put that in the center of the grill. We're going to close it up, and we're going to revisit this in about 4 hours. Okay, so it's about 4.5 hours later, and we're going to take a look at how this pork shoulder is doing. Something that I forgot to mention before, but I did right after I put the pork shoulder on, is the Green Mountain has a meat thermometer that you can set. And so I had it set at 160. As you can see, it's at 159 right now. And that's the internal temperature of this pork shoulder. So the probe plugs in right there, comes through a hole, and then as you can see in here, close up, the meat thermometer is put into just about the center of that pork. So it's telling us what the internal temp is right now, and 160 is exactly where you want it to be. So what we're going to do is, the bark on the outside of the pork is just about perfect, and we're going to take that, we're going to wrap it up in some tin foil, and we're going to add some apple cider vinegar. So a lot of people they like to use, you can use apple cider, you can use like just about anything, but I like to use the apple cider vinegar just because it gives it a little bit of a bite to it, and it also adds a little bit of sweetness and then some moisture when we're finishing the cook. So we're gonna go ahead and do that and get this pork shoulder back on the grill. As you can see, here's the meat probe. I'm just gonna pull that out for a little bit. Okay. So before we wrap this up, we're gonna get our apple cider vinegar, and we're gonna pour about, I'm gonna put about a cup in there. Wrap this up, like make it nice and tight. Perfect. Okay, back on the grill. Then we're going to put that meat probe back in there. And I know the bone in the shoulder blade bone is on this side, so I've been trying to stick it in on this side just because then you're not putting the thermometer close to that bone, which can give you a reading that is off. So I'm going to put it back in there. Close it up. And then I'm gonna set this probe, it's at 160 right now. We're gonna go to 205. And when it hits 205 as your internal temp, that's when you know it's gonna be done. So it should take about another 4 hours, maybe a little bit more because this is, like I said, a larger pork shoulder. But it should take about that long, and we're gonna come and check back in a few hours. So it's yet another 4 hours later, and we have the internal temp of this pork shoulder at 204. So 1 degree off of our perfect internal temp of 205. And I just took a look at it, and it looks and smells amazing. So what I'm going to do is going to show you a little close-up while I kind of test the doneness and with a pair of tongs. This is just, it's nice and tender. I can basically pull it apart right here with a pair of tongs. Look at it pulling away from the bone. That's exactly where you want it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this up, and I'm going to set it in the kitchen for a while, for about 45 minutes, all wrapped tight up, and then we're going to come back and pull it and make some sandwiches. Okay, so we've had this pork resting for about 45 minutes, and we're gonna take a look and see how it looks and maybe pull it apart. I just threw this extra piece on there to keep everything inside. Did a pretty good job. This looks good. So this is still extremely hot, even though it's been sitting around for almost an hour. Hasn't really come down and tapped too much, but so I'm going to use these tongs. But you can see it takes no effort to pull this apart. So this is gonna, oh, look at that. That's amazing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull this out and shred it up. Look at that, all the juice. We're not going to drain any of this off. Look at that bone, it came out of there clean. That's exactly what you want to see. That means you did a great job. And we're going to want to keep all of this juice that's in here, and we're just going to shred this up some more. Awesome, we've got it all pulled apart and it looks and it tastes amazing. I had to try a little sample. What I'm gonna do now, before we make sandwiches out of this, I'm just gonna add a little bit more of the Sexy Pig. You've cooked off a lot of the salt in this and some of the seasoning. So I just like to add a little fresh layer of seasoning at the end. Just gonna hit it a little bit and just kind of eyeball it. And then I'm also gonna mix in right away just a little bit of your favorite barbecue sauce. So I'm using today is Demon Pig Blaze Orange barbecue sauce. It's one of our favorites at the store. It's got some sweet, just a little bit of heat, which is nice, but not too much. So this is made in South Dakota. And actually a lot of their sauce seasonings have been amazing and all like competition quality. So I'm just gonna put a little bit in there, and people can always top their sandwiches with more. Probably put about half a cup in there. And then I'm just gonna give this a mix. Oh my God, if you guys could have smell-o-vision, YouTube eventually will have that, I'm sure. This will be incredible. Okay. Got it just about stirred in. And honestly, I could eat this just as it is. I mean, put this as a side with no bun. That's a meal right there. But we're gonna assemble a sandwich, and we're gonna kind of show you how that looks. Okay, so we have got our pork shoulder pulled and ready to assemble the sandwich. So this is really optional at this stage because pulled pork tastes amazing on its own. But I'm just going to show you kind of how we like to do it here. What I've got is a little bit of a fancier bun. This is called brioche bun. Normally just a normal, cheap bun would work too. But if you want to get fancy, this is what we're using. We're going to stack our pulled pork on there. See how much we can get on there at once. There you go. And a little bit more of this Demon Pig Blaze Orange barbecue sauce. Just a little bit more. We already added some already in there, so there we go. And then we like to keep it simple. We use just some pickles, sweet pickles on top. These are a little extra credit because they're homemade, so you can definitely just buy some bread and butter pickles at the store. Throw a couple of those on. Some of these pickled onions would be good, I think. All right. So this is how we like to make them at the store. We like to keep it simple, just like that. But I know a lot of people, especially more like Southern style cooking, they'll also add the coleslaw and right on top there. So it's a little bit of a barbecue plate lunch and one sandwich. Like I said, it's up to you. It's really choose your own adventure. So this is what we've got. And that's gonna work perfect. Yum. Excited to dive into that. And if you wanna see more recipes like this one, you can always go to our YouTube channel and check out other grilling recipes that we've posted. Recipes are always at shopdegroods.com/recipes. And you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram to see what we're up to. So thanks for following along. Bye.